and welcome to the 44th Battle of the Losers Bracket. Our contestants for this session are Melanchton and Lurker. Melanchton, who's been with me since the beginning, has a chemist, a thief, a geomancer, and a sage. Newcomer from the winner's bracket, Lurker, has a thief, a lancer, a knight, and a wizard. To give a bit of a crash course on the newcomer's units, his thief has a bit of an identity crisis. To get a bit technical here, both her secondary ability and her support ability are mutually exclusive offensive options. That is to say, when she's using throw, she's not using two swords, and vice versa. This is a little problematic of a setup, as neither the support ability and the secondary ability can support each other at the same time. The Lancer is a straightforward support unit, with item and throw item, a very common combo, so common that you can see it on the McDonald's menu. The Knight is a offensive unit that combines physical evasion and magic evasion with attack up. He has an Ice Brand, curiously not a Rune Blade. A bit of an interesting choice, as there are not very many ice weaknesses to exploit in this tournament among the equipment. Perhaps the only reason why I think he has an Ice Brand is because it does half damage against this Lancer's Flame Shield, so it could be for a bit of charm resistance. But I believe that it is best to prioritize your primary offense before considering these secondary effects, but that's just me. And finally, the Wizard is a support unit, supports offense with black magic, and supports defense with white magic. To go into a bit of the matchup, there is good and best compatibility all around. This Wizard depends on Abandon to stay alive, but unfortunately for Lurker here, this Wizard also has best compatibility with the Thief, with Melanchton's Thief that has innate Concentrate, so the Wizard might be spending a lot of time on her face. So I predict that Lurker will have to be winning the battle without this Wizard's help in most cases. The Thief also has best compatibility with Melanchton's Thief, so they can both dish out damage to each other in equal parts. And finally, the Lancer and the Knight have good compatibility with Melanchton's Sage and Geomancer. Now, I just finished casting another match, that is Cause vs. Former Deathcore, that also had a lot of good and best compatibility, and to be honest, I could hardly cast that match at all. Things went by so quickly, and it was almost anybody's game. So, in this case, I'm gonna save my breath and just watch how things pan out. And I'll be watching how things pan out first on map number 76. Zeklaus Desert. Quite possibly the largest map in the game. This means that I'll have to entertain you while these teams approach each other. But I'm not feeling very playful at the moment. So I'm afraid you're gonna have to be bored for a few seconds here. Casting haste. Lathering it like paste. The Sage. Moving forward. Chemist getting a second turn. Sniping the Thief. Procs Dragon Spirit. I believe Lurker is willing to take that trade-off. 96 damage for re-raise is a good deal to me. Two hits on the Thief, missing. Not very lucky for Melanchton. More haste. And a nasty Fire 4, taking out the Sage, but being blocked by the Geomancer. So both teams testing each other's possibilities. Thief opening up her two swords game, chops down the Geomancer to size. Geomancer's Abandon is not useful against that Thief. And Bolt 4. I almost thought that the Wizard would have caught herself in the Bolt 4, but I presumed wrong. Thief denying the sandbag. And the Ninja, or sorry, the Knight cutting down the other sandbagger, the Chemist. Luckily, Melanchton has his Sage back on her feet so they can resurrect the Chemist. So Both teams still 4 strong. Melanchton quickly reduced to 2 strong. That's good compatibility for you. And now to 1. And that's it. Lurker takes the first round. The 2 contestants continue their battle inside of Igros Castle. We saw in the end of the last match that all 4 of Melanchthon's units were cut down almost at once. Now that's good and best compatibility for you. Melanchthon is hoping for anything but this time around. I think it is time for Melanchthon to lay down the frog spells. That is what got him past Filsov, and I believe that is also what can help him get past this match here. Unfortunately though, with best compatibility, that Sage is almost exclusively on damage control with Race 2, meaning that she doesn't have much time to cast Frog. Perhaps, I believe she's casting it now. She might be casting Despair. Unless, of course... No, it is Frog. Misses, unfortunately. That might be her only chance to cast it, as she is already on the floor, dead. But Abandon, Geomancer's Abandon, proving to be very effective, blocking both Ice 4 and that Chop. Unfortunately, Abandon is not effective against Innate Concentrate at all. Chemist with Haste, able to restore the Geomancer's HP before he takes any further damage. Now both the Geomancer and the Sage are hasted. The Knight gets Secret Fisted. And the Geomancer blocks the counterattack. More Fire 4. The layout of this map, the vertical tiles, is such that that wizard can cast her Fire 4 spells quite comfortably. As I don't believe anyone on Melanchthon's team has Teleport or Fly, so that the wizard is almost safe there. Of course, she's not safe against Frog 2, but with the Sage on her knees, as we see, the Sage won't be casting Frog 2 anytime soon. Wizard going from offense now into defense. Here comes a Frog 2. The Chemist is on his knees. So 17 on 70 faith puts the wizard into Frog quite effectively, but the Frog is then restored by the Lancer. So not unless the Sage can get both the wizard and the Lancer in the same Frog spell is the Frog status likely to stick. Sage hitting the wizard mid-charge and then charging in, so that her fellow Knight takes damage, but the Knight was death sentence, so it didn't really matter. He's dead anyway. It's 2 on 2. That Lancer has items, so he can sandbag very well. He has the defense to do it. But unfortunately for Lurker, the 2 units of Melanchthon's that are alive are Melanchthon's fastest. And these are the units that Melanchthon uses to deny sandbags. It is very difficult to escape the range of that gun. It is essentially the Lancer's 9 speed to the Chemist's 11. And the Thief's 11, of course. So in due time, Melanchthon will get 2 turns. But we see the Chemist now instead choosing to resurrect the Sage, and the Sage frogs the Lancer. And then, of course, the wizard gets charmed to rub salt in the wounds. Chemist thanking the wizard for her heal, and then promptly killing her. And that is it. So, Melanchthon, you force a tiebreaker. The tiebreaker is being held at the Bed Desert. This bed will be the final resting place for one of the contestants. Oh, I can't believe myself. That was terrible. Somebody slap me. Anyway, the Chemist sells the Thief, re-raise for the low cost of 96 HP. And the thief likewise sells the chemist 1 speed for the higher cost of 208 HP. Team's moving forward. Sage moving forward, casting a frog spell. Sorry, let me correct myself. Despair. And unfortunately for her, it misses. Chemist retreats with the next potion. Thief pursues and hits the Geomancer through his abandon. Not enough to kill him, though. Luckily, the thief has brought a friend, a wizard that knows fire, or bolt, as it is. Doesn't hit the Geomancer, though. So that comment didn't really flow very well, but it hits the thief. No matter. The Geomancer is dead. The thief followed up. The wizard is 2, so it's 1 apiece. Wizard is back up. Gonna cast Cure 3 and retreats. Sage is back up. Thief is back up. Everybody coming back up. Thief and Melanchton Thief is now back down. Or perhaps down just for the first time. I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, Lurker Thief is back down. The chemist is back down. Everybody's hitting the floor. Everybody gets a chance to taste the dirt, getting sand in their teeth. The Geomancer says to his thief, "You've had enough sand," and brings him back to the fight. Chemist, Sage. So much sandbagging, so much damage. It's madness. Thief taking up the wizard now. The wizard gets a face full of dirt. Or sand. The Lancer gives the Geomancer some back. Now the frog is hopping in the sand. And runs away. It's going to be difficult for Lurker to track down that frog. The frog might just be out of it till the end of the match. Unfortunately for Lurker. He now has only this Lancer to sandbag with. Sure, he can keep resurrecting the thief, but again, Chemist loathes to deny sandbag with his gun. Knight, shamefully useless. And haste, so Melanchton is looking pretty good. I can say he's breathing easily now, as he has only the frog to deal with. So he's going to take his time, haste up his party, making sure he takes out the frog with utmost class. And moves in. He gives the frog a good scolding, but as I said before in the match with Filsov, you can't talk to frogs. Frogs don't understand human language, but they do understand gunshots. So congratulations, Melanchton. You are continuing down this long path to the end of the loser's bracket. Lurker, I'm sorry, but you have been eliminated. Thank you for playing.